Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about our line clamps, kind of go over some of the details about them, why we made them in the first place, and the different tools. Be sure to ask any questions that you have in the comments. We'll get right back to you. That's one of the biggest things with these line clamps is answering the questions, understanding its application, and how the different tools are used. So I'm hoping to kind of sort some of that out and make it a little bit more clear. Why we created these in the first place, I was very specifically plumbing that C1, the 59 Corvette, running some fuel lines down the frame rail with a brake line and I believe an emergency brake cable as well. I couldn't find a singular clamp that could hold 3 different diameter hoses and tubes and cables. We're building this really high-end car and getting near the end, and I'm feeling like I'm having to cut some corners because of just what's available. I basically had to stagger some different clamps, different styles, plastic and metal. It was just really challenging to find something that was universal and cohesive that could do everything that I needed. So this idea came to life 2 or 3 years ago now is when some of the first prototypes were made and we started to test them. And what we came up with was this is a 4-place. We have small, medium, and large clamps. And what that means is they have a different range of hole sizes that they can withstand. They all come with just a pilot hole in them. So for example, this is a 4-place medium clamp. The pilot hole is there just to provide center. Where that takes you is you install it in one of the 2 tools that we have, and you can drill that out to any size within the constraints of the clamp. So you can mount, say, a braided hose right next to a hard line, right next to 2 emergency brake cables. A huge benefit from a shop's perspective and even a home builder is when you have this clamp, you don't have to think as hard about pre-planning what you need for line clamps, because this clamp or a 2-place or a single place, however many lines you have next to each other, can mount anything. We'll be running, say, a hard line next to a soft line. There's always a transition point, whatever that reason may be. Maybe there's a fuel line that's running down the frame rail, transitions from a hard line to a soft line when it jumps over to the engine. That transition point, it doesn't matter where it happens now, because at any point you can decide to change to a soft line, run it maybe to a bulkhead, back down to a soft line, route around something and kick it up to the engine. It doesn't matter because you can drill it all out. The versatility of it and being able to make everything match as well. On this particular design, which is our original design, we have these little windows that are cut in the top, which just give it a cool look, especially when you drill them out. It becomes a little bit more obvious. You can see the line as it passes through. It also adds a touch of detail that makes all the clamps clearly cohesive. They all clearly match and are intentional that way. We've got lots of different ideas on how we're going to expand this system, maybe different designs in the future, lots of different things. Another thing that we more recently came up with, we found that we could stack the clamps. Basically what we did was took 2 bottoms, put them on top of each other. It created a flat surface to where we can stack another clamp on top of it. And that has become particularly handy when we're doing heater hose and AC lines. Oftentimes those are getting run, say, behind the inner fender. And if we can mount those in basically a square shape and keep them all tight together with one mounting bolt, it really solves a lot of problems and is a super clean, tight way to do it that's also very accessible. So these ones are all pre-drilled. We machine these. It's kind of more application specific, but it is the same clamp, so it will still go in the drill jig as well. So you can see this is a double bottom, the stackable, and then this is the standard one with the detail on the top. This would be for your heater hose. This would be for your AC line. This is a longer bolt. You can stack them and it works really well. I'll move over to Derek, also known as Uncle D, and let him break down the differences between the 2 tools. And then we'll kind of do an assembly of our original tool and help answer any questions about that.
Hi, I'm Derek. I'm going to be talking about our line clamp drill jig tool. This is our original design. It's more of a handheld version, but it can be put into a vise, which means you can put it in a drill press or even just put it in a vise and drill it with a handheld drill. Kind of the idea behind this one would be that you can bring it over to your project. Maybe you got your car on a lift. You can bring this under the lift and be drilling it out, each clamp individually throughout the plumbing process. This works for all 3 different sizes of clamps. We came up with a different design that was a little more entry level. It's a simpler design for more of a DIY application that goes into a vise. How this one works is it has these wave designs in it, and then it's self-centering, as well as this little shelf that can sit on the top of your vise jaw. This one we've actually come to really like a lot just because of the ease. If you're already by a drill press that has a vise, it's quick. You can just drop this in your vise, clamp it together, and drill out your clamps. This one comes just like the other one, in the small, the medium, and the large sizes, so you can still drill out any clamp to whatever size you need. There's this alignment pin that'll go through the mounting hole of the clamp itself. So you pull this pin out, you can drop whatever clamp it is. This particular is a medium clamp. That's embarrassing. Push this pin through. That just helps keep the two halves aligned. And then you would tighten these two bolts and then drill out any size that you need. And they can be various sizes throughout the clamp, which is kind of one of the special features about our clamps. And then when you're done, we like to take it off, flip the clamp over, and then deburr the back side of each hole. This tool itself works for all three different sizes of clamps. So you just drop these inserts out, grab the next size that you need, pop it in, and then you're ready to go. So it's really simple and easy to switch between sizes. It doesn't take a bunch of work or even a different tool.
One other tool that we found really complements this system, especially for the large clamps, we do use them on the medium as well, is these extra tall step reamers. So we've got a link for these on the site with the line clamps. You can buy these just on Amazon. When you're drilling these things out, these have a 1/2 inch tall step. So they're especially, like I said, effective on the large clamps. They make it all the way through the clamp and up to the next size. So it makes it really quick and easy to drill this stuff out. We do also do what we call a we-drill clamp. So a lot of the line clamps that we offer are sold pre-sized, and that's especially helpful for a lot of the bigger stuff. You can also custom order them through us. Just send us an email and we can go back and forth. We've done all kinds of different stuff. So at the end of the day, we are still a custom shop. We can take those types of orders just like we would take on custom parts, custom tail lights for another shop or whatever it may be. It's applicable currently to all this stuff as well. As a shop owner, when we're trying to plan out a job, plumbing projects can be really challenging. Even when you stock all of your own fittings, and we have our crimp system, which has been super helpful. We've got lots of different hose on hand, which takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, but there is an infinite amount of fittings. And now with these line clamps, of course, we stock them. I don't have to think about how any of this stuff is going to be secured now, whether it's hard line, braided line, emergency brake cables, brake lines, flexible hose, stainless, it doesn't matter. When I'm planning out a plumbing project for one of the guys to do, I don't have to think about how all the lines are going to be secured, which is just one less thing. So having this stuff in stock, it helps keep the projects moving because we're just not the back and forth, oh, I'm out of line clamps, I can't finish this line I'm bending. And it's just everything in a shop with efficiency is just keeping steady motion forward. And when you run out of parts, when you don't have something on hand, it really puts a bind on things. So that's something that I'm super focused on. Fine tuning in the shop helps keep things flowing. And these line clamps have dramatically helped that for us. It feels good to know that everybody in the shop just reaches for these now. Just recently, Brian and I were planning out all the plumbing on this Ford truck we're putting together. And the truck doesn't necessarily call for these high-end, fine precision machine billet line clamps, but we're laying this whole project out, all the plumbing, and we're looking at it. We're trying to figure out what we're going to use for line clamps. We could frankly use the sheet metal ones that are coated in rubber from Napa. It would be totally fine for this job. But when we start talking about it and what we want to do and where all this stuff has to get routed and how things are changing over and stuff, we got to the end and we're like, we just need to use our stuff. Like even in a job where it doesn't demand that type of precision and quality, it still made sense for us just because it's how we think. I'm hopeful, and I think that other shops will really get a liking to this once they understand how they work and it kind of works into their shop flow. As a custom shop, it's been pretty cool. And we're not done with this. We're not even close to being done with this. We have so many different ideas to add on to this and just continuously make it better. And as we come up with things, that's where these ideas are coming from, is a real world shop that is doing this stuff. So the application is there.
We should get one of those things. Line clamp demo, take one.
Yeah.
Is it filming right now?
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Josh. Happy birthday to you.
Wow, well done. That was Uncle D, by the way.
Oh, thank you for that.
I like the Uncle D. It makes it personal. You don't have to be Uncle D if you don't want. We can cut that part out. You can just be Derek.
I'm going to say Derek. I don't care if you say
Okay,
Uncle D.
good. All right, good.
Hi, I'm Uncle D.
Thank you, Derek. You did a good job. Do not.
Who's
put that
Derek?
on there. Yeah.
Here we go. Wow.